A warm welcome to one and all. Today, my topic of presentation is nerve fibers. Nerve fiber is a general term for any neural processes that emerge from the cell body of a neuron. There are two kinds of processes, dendrites and axons. As we all know, this is the figure of a neuron. The neuron consists of a cell body, axon, and its terminals. The cell body consists of a nucleus, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, and endoplasmic reticulum. There are three branch-like structures called dendrites, which collects the electric signals or inputs and passes it to the axon, which is later released through the synaptic terminals into the synapses. Dendrites. They are receiving or input portions of a neuron. The plasma membrane of a dendrite consists of many receptor sites for binding chemical messengers from the other nerve cells. They are usually short, tapering, and highly branched, sometimes forming a tree-shaped array of processes which extends from the cell body. Their cytoplasm consists of cell bodies, mitochondria, and other cell organelles. This is the structure of a dendrite. From the cell body, there are projections called dendrones which give rise to dendrites, which form a tree-like array. Now, to the next process, axon. An axon of a neuron propagates nerve impulses towards another neuron, a muscle fiber, or a gland cell. A neuron is a long, slender, cylindrical projection that joins to the cell body at a cone-shaped elevation called axon hillock. The axon hillock integrates all incoming signals from the dendrites into a single electrical impulse. A part of axon closest to the axon hillock is called initial segment. Many impulses arise at this junction and thus it is called the trigger zone. An axon contains mitochondria, microtubules, and neurofibrils. Axon helps in transmitting signals as fast as possible. That is, the larger the axon, the faster the transmission. Each axon is surrounded by a myelin sheath, which is a fatty layer that insulates the axon and helps in transmitting signals over a long distance without its escape. There are nodes of Ranvier in between myelin sheath, which helps in conduction of electrical impulses. The electrical impulses at times jump from one node to another throughout the axon, and this type of conduction is called saltatory conduction. The axon ends by dividing into many fine parts called axon terminals or axon telodendria. These are synaptic terminals which terminates and transmits electrical signals to an adjacent neuron through synapse by converting them into chemical signals. This process continues to the next neuron. The cytoplasm of an axon, called axoplasm, is surrounded by a plasma membrane called axolemma, which means sheath. Along the length of the axon, there are side branches called axon collateral, typically at the right angle. In the first figure, we can see an axon with its collateral branch, nodes of Ranvier, axon telodendria, axon terminal, and myelin sheath with the Schwann cell. And it shows the passage of action potential. In the second figure, we can see a zoomed or inner version of an axon. which consist of neurofibrils, axoplasm, axolemma, and mitochondria inside an axon. So, when it comes to the function of an axon, they allow neurons to transmit electrical and chemical signals to another cell, helps in the communication within and between the brain to the rest of the body. Then it comes to the damage. What happens if the axon is damaged? An axonal tear have been linked with lesions responsible for the loss of consciousness in people with mild head injuries. Axon damage leads to axon degeneration, which can eventually kill the underlying nerve. It may lead to Alzheimer's, Huntington's, and Parkinson's disease. These are some of the effects and causes of Parkinson's disease, Huntington's disease, and Alzheimer's. Thank you, and hope you have a good day.